The Scream by Diana J. Whaler. Eliza had never been in a drama class. Now that she was here, she was certain it was a mistake. Absolutely certain. There were no desks or no blackboards, no papers or books. The big room was empty, except for a platform at one end, raised 8 inches above the shiny hardwood floor. At the other end of the room there were mirrors, a whole wall full, so you could see yourself every time you glanced up. This isn't going to work, Eliza thought, flattening herself against the wall, her binder clutched over her chest. At 13, Eliza wasn't on friendly terms with mirrors. She was too tall and too skinny. Her elbows and shoulders stuck out like sharp corners. She was on medication for eczema, but it wasn't helping. No matter what creams or lotions she spread on, her skin was forever white, dry, and scaly. Lizard skin. Eliza jumped, but no one was even looking at her. Most of the boys and girls were clustered in tight groups at the center of the room. She knew some of them from last year, grade 6. This is going to be a blast! No homework or books, just do plays and stuff. What a cinch! That was Ted Zutter. Eliza remembered he had pushed her once, in the stairwell at their old school. She had fallen down 5 stairs. So I bumped her. Todd had shrugged in the principal's office. I'm clumsy, what can I say? Eliza was still frightened of stairwells, and Todd Zutter. Maybe we can get marks for plays we've already been in, said Melissa Downing. Eliza knew Melissa had been Baby Bear in The 3 Bears, the witch in Hansel and Gretel, the snowflake queen at the grade 6 Christmas pageant. How am I going to get out of this? Eliza wondered, her heart thumping. She had never been in any plays. She had never even taken baton lessons. How could she cope in this empty room that didn't have any desks? What if they all had to sit on the floor and no one would sit near her? Lizard skin. Eliza flinched, but pretended she didn't hear. She had practice of pretending like that. Bang! The chatter stopped abruptly and everyone looked up. Thank you, said the teacher who had slammed the door. My name is Mrs. Droginda. Don't forget it because I'm not going to write it down. First of all, take off your shoes and set them against the wall. There were groans and cries of, phew, what a stink. Eliza set her binder down and untied her sneakers with trembling fingers. Did her socks match? Did they have any holes? Why hadn't she thought about her socks this morning? You will take off your shoes every time you come into this room, Mrs. Droginda said, limping onto the platform. I want you to be able to feel the floor under your feet. One of her legs is shorter than the other, Eliza thought suddenly. It seemed to be what everyone was thinking. Mrs. Droginda looked out at the group with piercing blue eyes. I'll tell you 2 things right now, she said. I had polio when I was young, so you don't have to ask. And I hate grade 7s. Grade 7s are silly and loud and inhibited. The room started to grumble, but Mrs. Droginda cut them off. That's right, inhibited. Here's your chance to prove me wrong. Everyone, begin walking in a circle, now. It was a command. Eliza jumped up and joined the circle of whispering children. No one had ever met anyone like Mrs. Droginda. They didn't understand her. After all, teachers never came out and said they hated grade 7s. Teachers weren't supposed to hate anybody. This is going to be awful, Eliza thought numbly, marching around with the rest of them. No desks, no shoes, and a teacher who hated her right from the start. Now take proud steps. Walk like kings and queens, Mrs. Droginda said. Eliza didn't know how to queens walk, but she's pretty sure they didn't leap, the way Melissa Downing was. Melissa was prancing and lunging, a cross between a snowflake queen and a sword fighter. Don't dance, walk. When I want ballerinas, I'll ask for them. Melissa stopped leaping, her mouth set in a tight line. Mrs. Droginda had them walk like kings, then crawl like insects. She had them reach up as high as they could, then collapse to the floor. Eliza wasn't very good at reaching, but she knew how to fall. She knew the feeling of her arms and legs losing power. She knew what it was like to melt helplessly to the floor in a heap. She did that sometimes when she got home from school, when the door to her room was closed and no one would hear her cry. Todd Zutter thought collapsing was funny. Ugh, I'm shot, he groaned, falling straight forward like a mannequin. Some of the kids laughed. Save the theatrics, Mrs. Droginda snapped, or you'll be doing them out in the hallway without an audience. The giggles died away. Everyone was thinking about Mrs. Droginda's limp. At first, she felt sorry for the teacher, but she didn't now. No one would make fun of her. They wouldn't dare, Eliza thought. She remembered the icy blue eyes, how they could freeze you where you stood. It'd be a good thing to have eyes like that. All right, everyone back in a circle, Mrs. Draginda said, limping into the middle of the room. We're going to scream. The class fell silent. Eliza wondered if she heard right. What were they going to do? Miss Draginda was in the center of the circle. Her arms were folded over her chest. She didn't look pleased. I told you grade 7s were inhibited, she sighed. Everyone face inwards. When I point at you, I want you to scream.